Zordon, please, we're on our knees.
When I was channel surfing as a kid, I stumbled on this episode. This episode made me laugh so hard as a kid, and watching it now as an adult, I laugh even harder. This is another song and dance from the Zeo series. When I was channel surfing as a kid, I started watching the episode at the scene where Tommy and Tanya are doing the voice lessons. You see, Tommy has to do a song and he's unconfident about his singing, so he asks Tanya for help. And that's when the Machine Empire, if you remember the villains of the Zeo series, they hatch a plan to make them sing forever.
If we made it so that Tommy could not stop himself from singing, he could not possibly pilot his Zord.
This scene, when they get hit with the spell and then they start singing, I still, after so many years, remember the lines. It's that hilarious.
Are you all right?
Do not make light. I've had a fright. Why can I not stop groaning?
It's funny because as a kid, I did not realize that the whole shtick was not just to be funny. It was that eventually, if they couldn't stop singing, maybe they wouldn't be able to use their voices, and then they wouldn't be able to pilot their Zords or effectively fight. I didn't realize that was the plot. I just thought it was a comedy episode of the Power Rangers, one of those episodes where it wasn't supposed to be serious.
We must now go. Zordon must know about the spell we're under.
So now as an adult, I know that, oh, the whole point was the singing would eventually wear them out and they would not be able to effectively be Power Rangers.
Oh, Zordon, please, we're on our knees. There must be ways to stop this.
What's funny is that part of the joke is that Tommy's just not a good singer, right? So not only is it tiring for them to keep singing, also it's getting on everyone's nerves and probably destroying the harmony / the concentration of the rest of the Rangers. This is one of the most fascinating things about human memory, is that as kids, our memories are not perfect. And because I never noticed the bad singing from Tommy, when I remembered it, up until I watched this episode again, I thought Tommy was actually a good singer. The tune I remember all these years from my head was not what Tommy sang. I remembered him going, "I'm on my knees." I don't know why I remember that going down type of inflection, but I remember so clearly he was saying, "I'm on my knees," but that's not what he said. He was off tune trying to say, "I'm on my knees."
Zordon, please, we're on our knees.
This is an extra fascinating thing that upon revisiting this episode, I had to point out. The human memory is just not perfect.
The time has come to stop this one.
This is another example of imperfect memory, because I remember this scene. I remember the Zord having the swords, and I thought he said basically he was announcing in a singing fashion for the Zord to have the sword. So again, that's another example I misremembered. And maybe there's another episode where he said it, but I distinctly remember him singing that.
I wish I could.
Now this is funny. Them fighting on the ground against the prince and the princess, I believe those two were from the Machine Empire. I absolutely don't remember this at all. I remember the Zord portion. I remember the singing when they're not in the Zord, but I don't remember the fighting on the ground part. So you might ask, guys, what happened? How did they get out of this situation? This is another reason why the Zeo series was one of my favorite Power Rangers series, because Jason is the Gold Ranger, and Jason plays such a pivotal role. Remember Jason, the original Red Ranger? He left and then he came back. In Zeo, Jason sometimes was the star instead of Tommy. And in this episode, Jason with this awesome pyramid Zord called Pyramidas, he saves the day. Zeo was a really unique part of the Power Rangers franchise, because by this point they had a big following, but they weren't the original lineup. But they also managed to bring back a character that a lot of people liked. I loved Zeo, man. I loved Zeo. And for any of you who want me to look at more episodes from the Zeo part of the Power Rangers, let me know. because this series was so good. So everyone, thank you so much. This was the 3rd episode on the Power Rangers. We'll do more. Which episodes were your favorite? Which episodes made you laugh so hard?
It's morphine time!
Zeo Ranger 2, yellow!
Zeo Ranger 5, red!